everyone! Welcome back to week 2 of the CNC Challenge. I'm Courtney.
My name is Chris.
And we hope you join us and enjoy this video for this week. First off, we wanted to start by giving a huge thank you to everyone so far who's been following us on this journey, for your donations through our GoFundMe page, and everyone else also who has given in other ways and not just through GoFundMe. So just overwhelming amount of support from everyone, friends and family, and even people that we don't know yet.
We wish we could name each and every one of you individually, but I don't think you guys want to sit there for 45 minutes straight while we gush over our amazing friends and family and even complete strangers. So just know, each and every one of you, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, and you have our eternal gratitude.
Yeah, just the things that have come into our lives so early on in our journey through cancer and pregnancy and everything else that's been going on in our crazy busy lives. It's just been incredible. So
oh, go ahead.
To groups, my mom's friends, for her exercise class and game night, the donation, thank you so much from them. And also the friends who are bringing us food and healthy alternative foods, and just support and ideas and different ways to fight this and beat this.
And also, for those of you who are checking out our channel for the first time ever, we will be having our GoFundMe in the description below. So we'll have a direct link to it. So
you can follow, you can follow our story through the GoFundMe as well. So it's all written out there. And then, of course, check out our weekly YouTube channels that we'll be posting. Well, it's been a whole week so far, over a week, that Chris has been on the medication subscribed by the oncologist.
The gene-focused medication, the alternative to chemo or radiation at this point. So I'm a week in. Basically, I don't want to go into huge details about what exactly the medication is, but there are certain details that I will give. This medication that I do, I roughly have to take it, I have to take pills, and I have to take them in the morning, and I have to take them in the evening. These pills have given me side effects that they claimed would be anywhere from nausea, to constipation, to diarrhea, to fatigue. So, luckily, every single time when I take them, I have them on a full stomach, so I haven't gotten any of the symptoms except for fatigue. So, usually whenever I take it, I'm usually good for about a couple hours, but then, like, if I take the medication maybe at 9 or 10 in the morning, come 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, it's nap time. It usually hits me pretty hard, but it's a pretty quick nap. It's more of a power nap, so I'm not knocked out for too long.
And, you know, napping and sleep heals the body too. So I think, you know, he was never able to take naps in the past. That could be a little blessing in disguise for him, be able to take a nap, and of course helps me out too, because I love naps.
Yeah, napping is one of those things you don't really appreciate till you get older, so bear that in mind, kids. Take them while you can.
Right? And then we are at 30 weeks pregnant, so that's what
what
about 30 weeks looks like with baby Logan.
We are looking at maybe
we have 10 weeks left.
Yep, 2 months away.
10 weeks. And baby's here.
And you can guess what animal we're going to be introducing on that episode.
A wolverine.
A wolverine.
So, yeah, so the biggest thing we were going to talk about in this episode on as far as how we've changed our lives after a cancer diagnosis, the first thing that we did was change our diet. That was something that I had done a lot of research on right after the diagnosis, and found that, you know, overall healing involves so much more than just taking medication. So, you know, the Western medication is by far the best, but there are so many other ways to heal your body, and I think the biggest one is diet. What you eat absolutely matters. Most people can get away with eating junk food and different things, and there are just so many different causes of cancer that they're finding. And through research and studying, we've found that the best cancer fighting diet seems to be a vegan-based diet. So that is what we went with. There are other ones out there, but we're seeing nutritionists and dietitians and everything. And so we're taking information from everywhere and everyone who has good information and kind of following it and putting together what feels right for us. So how long have we been on our diet?
Every bit of a month
right?
now. Yeah.
So about a month. The biggest change I've noticed, now I'm still putting a little more dairy and some animal protein in my diet, although you can absolutely be vegan and have a very healthy pregnancy. There's plenty of alternatives out there. So the biggest thing we're staying away from is processed food. Nothing processed, no more. It has to be as natural and from the earth as it can. No processed sugar, and just staying away from most sugars in general. Fruit sugars are good because those are natural. The earth made them. And your body does need sugar to help process all those fast-growing cells. But cancer seems to love processed food. So we have cut that out completely. And just in the time that I have cut that out of my diet, I stopped getting heartburn. I had just started getting the worst heartburn. Every time I'd lay down at night, it would wake me up in the middle of the night. And that's a big common side effect of pregnancy. Since the baby's taken up so much room, that happens a lot. And it has completely gone away. In this time, as progressing through pregnancy, you would think it would have gotten worse. But just simply changing my diet in that amount of time, and I have had no more heartburn. So I'm feeling great. I have more energy than I used to. And so does Logan. I can feel him moving around all the time now. Before, I would eat something and he'd have a crazy little like hyper sugar rush, and then he would just conk out for the rest of the day, and I barely felt him move. He is moving all the time with the new diet now, so he's definitely enjoying the yummy food. And how have you been overall feeling?
My poops are good.
It is true. For the first time ever.
Nah, no, I'll go into more detail. So, the day we got the diagnosis, it's a little bit poetically, tragically, ludicrously ironic. Because the day we got the diagnosis, we had just maybe about been 15 minutes before at a burger joint. Having a couple of big, fat, juicy cheeseburgers.
Greasy, delicious.
Fries, chocolate shakes, just all this stuff. And it was still inside our stomach. So, I don't want this to be too much of a bummer, so I'm not going to go into too much details. But when we got home, we got the phone call, we got the diagnosis, and the first thing I did was go actually back into these bushes right here.
Beautiful pineapple guavas, by the way.
Yeah, and I basically puked that cheeseburger out into this. Maybe we'll grow a cheeseburger tree, I don't know. But
unlikely.
That was pretty much the moment. It's like that was pretty much the last fast food, junk food I've had up to this point. Because it's like, once you have that news come, it's like, once you kind of know you have something inside of you, you're like, I want this thing out of me, I'll do whatever it takes. So, almost immediately we got news about certain videos. We'll go into more detail about
all the different people we have followed, modules and other people fighting cancer that have inspired us.
Yeah, online people who know about how to deal with cancer and certain things. We've got so many that we want to do a shout out for, but that's pretty much going to be a video all on its own for another day. But really, I used to be the poster boy for bad diet, because I'm sort of a gangly dude. I really don't look like an overweight kind of guy.
It's so unfair. Somebody who can just pile on the junk food and eat whatever they want whenever they want and stay
rail
so
thin.
Nice and skinny.
But then again, it was also kind of like one of those blessing and curse things, because once you stay at a thin weight your entire life, you don't really give diet a second thought. You're like, well, you spend 30 years eating this specific way, nothing has really gone wrong, so you might as well keep at it. But the thing is that I was a schlub. I'll be the first to admit, I was a schlub. I would always make fun of the vegan lifestyle. Like, if we would ever go to a supermarket, I'd be like, ooh, fake meat. Doesn't this look mouth-watering? Ooh, tofu. Boy, can't wait to get that inside the system.
And of course, the best, worst vegan joke ever. How do you know someone's vegan?
They've told you about it already about 8 times.
Just like we have in this video.
Pretty much, yeah. But we also want to make it perfectly clear, this is a vegan decision made completely on
Health.
If you're a meat eater, God bless you, enjoy, keep having the meat. We're not going to judge. We were meat eaters.
Yeah, I mean, as a species, humans have eaten meat since the dawn of time. We're omnivores, so we eat a little bit of everything. That's why we got the canine teeth.
There are certain diets out there in which meat is the principal food for said diet. And if you are having that diet and it's giving you good results, keep at it. Don't have anybody tell you, well, it's wrong, or what about the souls of the animals, or any of that stuff. It's a certain lifestyle decision, and people don't insult ours, so we don't insult theirs. So it's just a health-based one. But I think when it actually came to the transition of vegan, the hardest part was genuinely, because we're not necessarily cooks. We can't really whip up a meal from scratch. So it's not only whipping up the meal from scratch, but also having to take all these ingredients that you usually would have for said scratch meal and take those completely out of the equation and still make something. That's when it gets a little bit difficult, and that's when it gets a little bit challenging.
Now, and fortunately, as times are changing, people are becoming more, realizing how important health food is, and almost every grocery store has an organic section, and there has got to be a huge reason for that. There's no way these stores would be putting this food on their shelves if it wasn't selling. And so people are realizing that it's important to be organic, to stay away from pesticides and chemicals and processed foods. Even if you have to spend a little more money, it's worth it for your health, and it's what you need to have. There's also restaurants now. Almost every restaurant you can go to, there's something on the menu that is less processed or healthier. Healthy alternatives on almost every restaurant that you go to. Yeah,
I know seconds ago we just kind of made fun of the greasy cheeseburger restaurants, but I can almost guarantee you find a cheeseburger joint, they've got either a vegan or vegetarian alternative. Veggie patties or soy-based patties are big now, and speaking from experience, they're good. They are genuinely good. We're going to probably do another video sometime where we go into details about these certain places.
Favorites. Yeah, all of our favorites.
Because I think when we started off the diet, it all started off with the simple list of, these are cancer-fighting produce. And it was items like, just off the top of my head, leafy greens, avocado, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, oranges, apples, and then other
green tea.
Green tea is a big one. Dark chocolate too. Thank God, dark chocolate is part of that list.
Yeah, your candy bar junkie needs
Absolutely.
something.
I am still a huge chocolate junkie. So just the fact that we have dark chocolate back is in my diet again is. It's basically saving me.
It's keeping him going. You have to have that special little treat to keep going on something like this.
And speaking from personal experience, I think one thing that I did was, if you're trying out a vegan diet for the first time, what I did was I made a list of all my favorite foods. And I'm talking the gross, juicy, cheesy, meaty, awesome foods.
The one thing we haven't found a replacement for yet is the Slim Jim.
The Slim Jim, yes.
I don't think he's going to find a replacement.
I will not find a Slim Jim for replacement. But again, I love the Slim Jims. but
now they're only good to look at.
We'll find. Well, I'm working on it. I've got some plans. I've got some ideas. Maybe a little bit of Powerpuff Girls style making of Chemical X ingredients. But I'll get to it because Daddy misses himself his Slim Jims. But either here or there, the point is that I made my list of items, and right next to them, I made alternatives for them. Like, I think one of them, and I know it sounds a little hokey on paper or even out loud, but I would do stuff like, I was having a real hankering for chicken wings. And it's like, if you break it down, it's like, well, what is it about the chicken wing that you really like? Well, it's the sauce. It's the spiciness, it's the kick, so how can we recreate that? So I just thought about, well, what if we do celery and we do an organic buffalo sauce? Tried it out, actually worked. Actually gave me that filling that I needed for the buffalo chicken.
Yep.
And from there, I mean, it gets pretty easy. They make some really good vegan soy-based ground beef and some
almost like chicken wings or a soy sausage.
Yeah, I'm thinking the noodles though, the spaghetti noodles. With
those are whole rice.
Yeah, rice-based,
brown
rice-based noodles, organic sauce, and soy-based ground beef, which makes some amazing spaghetti with meat sauce.
And again, the key with any of these things too is to just really read the labels.
Yeah.
If you get to the words that are too big to pronounce, or there's just so much other like acids and folic and stuff that's been processed.
Yeah,
a lot
glucose.
of vegan food is processed.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to stay away from, and we check our labels and go through, and eventually somebody's got the right one that is very minimal and basic.
Yeah.
And delicious.
Best places also to shop if you're just looking for vegan stuff, Trader Joe's, Lassen's, and probably the best choice of all, Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. If there's something you're looking for, Whole Foods will have it.
Absolutely. Or the alternative that you're looking for too. So if there's a specific item that you can't have, they probably have the alternative for it.
And even like Ralph's, the regular grocery stores have beautiful organic food sections. Smart and Final, I was shocked that Smart and Final had an organic section. I imagine Costco probably even does too.
And Smart and Final, they usually have their organic section be their everything. Their tofu, their organic produce, their soy-based items, soy milk. We've been having a lot of soy milk too.
Yes, we were on almond, but apparently the soy, but organic soy, which is non-GMO, it's hard to find because almost all soy and corn was genetically modified at some point. But they're getting back into the natural, and they have that there. So due to our nutritionist, she recommended the soy for the higher amount of calcium to keep in our diets.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where we've gone with the diet. And
so what's the lesson that we've learned? We've learned that there are certain foods you can't have, and even if there's certain foods you can have, they're really hard to find. For CBS News, good night.
Well, like we promised at the end of every video, we're going to introduce you to a friend of ours. So last week you guys got to meet Zoe, our 15-year-old Border Collie
who has headbutt our table twice.
Yeah, if you
now,
noticed the
so
table shaking, that was Zoe trying to have another cameo.
Yeah, 15 years old though, for crying out loud.
Today we are going to introduce you to the oldest member of our family and the youngest member of our family.
Now, mom, dad, grandparents, those of you who know this guy, just let me tell you right now, he's still with us, and he's still a wild man.
All right,
so.
I hope he's not too shy. Anyway, I'll let Chris introduce him since this is Chris's baby.
Okay. Well, it's kind of ironic that I've got this cup here because this happens to be Smiley. He is my box turtle, and I've had him since I was 7 years old. So I got him when he was completely full grown, which means he is somewhere between the ages of 40, 50, maybe even 60 years old. And look at him go, ladies and gentlemen.
Should have named him Speedy.
Actually, I named him Smiley because before I knew Courtney, and I actually got to focus in on him. Before I met Courtney, he was really hard to take care of, and as you can see, he has a really big beak like that. That's not blood. He was enjoying himself some strawberries earlier,
yeah, today was strawberry day.
As you can see, he has that beak, and he's trying to give himself whiplash. I'm not quite sure.
He's running really fast.
But anyway, I actually took a box turtle to a common vet, and with that common vet, he went in just to give him a trimming of the beak, and they did a terrible botched job where he pretty much for a few months, maybe even a solid year, had a smile, like a Joker-style smile carved into his face. He was not a happy boy, but I think originally his name was Tommy, but it really didn't speak to him, so after that, I just started calling him Smiley, and the name just kind of stuck.
Yeah, he's a good boy. So yeah, box turtles are amazing. They're not called box turtles because they know how to punch or box, but they can actually fit inside their shell. There's a little hinge right here on his belly, his plasteron, that goes ee-er, ee-er, and he can hide his head and his legs inside of his shell and shut it, just like a shoebox. So, pretty amazing little animals.
But Courtney, why do they call them box turtles?
Because they know how to box.
Oh.
They fit in a box. Then, this is the newest member. He's a 1-year-old Leprechauda tortoise. Now, leprechaudas we did not even know could exist. but also strawberry on his face. You can tell everybody loves their strawberries. His mommy is a sulcata or spur-thighed desert tortoise, native to Africa, and daddy is a leopard tortoise, also native to Africa. The two fell in love with our good friends, the reptile family. And there's little 15. And he got his special name 15 because he actually has 15 plates on his back. All turtles and tortoises have 13. They've got 5 down the middle and 4 on each side. But his daddy Leo and 15 here have 2 extra plates. So it makes him extra special. And he's, like I said, just a year old. He hatched from an egg at our house last year. And he's doing fantastic. They're really, really beautiful little guys. So if you're ever interested in a turtle or a tortoise as a pet, just do your homework first, because these little guys can live about 100 years and get anywhere between 40, like the leopard tortoise, and 200 pounds, like the sulcata tortoise. So that's a lot of pet to have running around your yard. Now, little Smiley here, he's full grown, so a box turtle's kind of a nice alternative for size.
Tortoise, swimmer, non-swimmer.
Yep, tortoises sink like rocks. They've got big clunky elephant feet. Turtles kind of have fingers and toes. They're very good swimmers. That's a good way to tell the difference between a turtle and tortoise. So thank you so much again, everyone, for joining us on our journey, and we look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.